Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks. I've done several videos on a bunch of control keys, like Control T, A, but I didn't realize there was that many, and I'm not even listing them all, because some of them are like uh, ones you might not ever use, like color styles, views. I'm going to go over the ones that are, and this is kind of surprisingly, these are actually ones like in Corel, but they're actually in like WordPerfect or other programs, all about text and font. But what you have to do to get this to work on font, and this isn't really a time saver. It could be for some people, but if we get the text tool and highlight the text, if we go Control I, it italicizes them. If we go Control B, it bolds them. If we go Control U, it underlines it. If we go Control L, it puts it to the left. Control R puts it to the right. Control E, ironically, is center. And then this is really not a big deal because all you'd have to hit is delete, but you could hit X, Control X. That's not really that useful unless you wanted to like hit that word right there and you could still hit your delete key. So it's not that big a deal. But if you get used to using Control X on some things, now we're going to go over the other ones. Some of these are really useful. Some of them are common and some of them are not common. Control T opens up your text docker and it gives you all your text information. Control A is almost in every program. It's select all. Control R is repeat the last move. So we take a block and then we move it. Let's move this one and let's go Control R. It repeated the last move. I moved it so far so it moves a little bit further. While we're here, Control Z does the opposite. It goes backwards. It takes a one step back. Control P is print, so you could print something. Of course, Control G is group, and that's a really common one, and I'll use it daily. So if we take these two and we select them and we go Control G, it grouped them together, and now this is one group. While we're here, Control U to ungroup them. Control C to copy, and then you can move it, and you can go Control V to paste it. This is something I'm going to start using quite a bit myself. Control L. A little bit different than Control G to group it. Now it's a curve, but it's been combined. This isn't really the best example. Control K, well, it is a good example now. It works. Control K works with a lot of things. We can go Control K, and it broke those two apart. We could go, if you see this as two words, we can go Control K, and it broke the words up. And if you go Control K again, it breaks the words up into letters. So this is let's draw a square. So this is a rectangle on layer 1. If we go Control Q, it turned it into a curve. And what you can do with a curve is then manipulate the nodes. Not that big a deal, same thing, but see, since we're not using text, Control C to cut it. No, Control X to cut it. Open new page, Control O. That's not that big a deal, but it might help you. Find and replace, which I use all the time. I used to go, I still do it, but go to edit, find and replace, but you can see that's a Corel F8. So if we hit Control F, it opens up the find and replace docker. Of course, Control D is duplicate. So it duplicates it. And when you duplicate, however far you moved it, it'll keep moving it that far. Control S is for save. Now it doesn't, you have to have a name on this, like I've named it hotkeys. So if I wanted to save it, I could just go Control S. If I want to import it or import something, I go Control I, and it would go and you could import something. Control X, export, Control E. Then there we have the envelope. These are, I think the last ones are basically Dockers. So we're going to go Control F7, open up the envelope Docker. We're going to go, I should have put these in order. Control F3 opens up the limbs. Maybe I didn't, maybe that's not right. Maybe that's symbols. Let's do it again. Control F3. Yep, so that's not lens. Let's figure out where, oh, it's alternate. So disregard this one. Then contour, the contour Docker. I think you probably have to have a shape picked. And then we're going to go Control F9 to open up the contour Docker. And the last one is under text. It's your glyphs, which is basically your symbols. If we go Control F11, and then you can pick symbols off here and drag that in and get your symbols. So I need to take that one away, but it's still an alternate, and I hope you understand. So that's quite a few control keys. Hope that helped just a little bit. And if you want to take a screenshot of that right there, you could save that. Hope that helped. Thank you for watching.